And we are back. We do have another series coming up here, finishing up the quarterfinals. We are on the ace match now. Pezz versus GogojOey. Winner of that going to be going up against Demi in that semifinals, and the winner of that going up against Mio Micah in the grand finals. I'm liking how this is all playing out here. What say you, Aries?
I'm a body double. Oh my god. Thank you. Shout out to Aries, by the way. He was casting for the majority of the broadcast, but he has some stuntman duties. He is off to work here in the evening. Just gonna go off and get hit by some cars on film.
Yeah. No, I think he's actually training other people to get hit by cars.
On film.
On film.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the progression. I mean, that's the progression, right? When you do the thing and then you teach the thing.
Yeah, yeah. Why give a man a fish when you can teach him to fish? You know, so in this case, instead of throwing yourself in front of a moving vehicle, you get someone else to do it instead.
And then you take the fish.
And then you take the fish.
That's how whatchamacallit works.
Yeah, yeah. There you go. Singapore.
Kuro is saying that actually Claire's the one who's throwing them in front of the vehicles, throwing them under the bus here.
Yep, yep. Claire is the one who knocks.
I thought I'd just leave that there, but I need to. No, what was actually happening was I was trying to link that up, and I was like,
I was waiting for you to.
I guess technically when they knock on the car ?
I was waiting. I could I could hear the wheels of the Yakuza turning.
Yeah, see, the thing that happens is a man gets hit by a man gets filmed. No, a man gets hit by a car, and you think that of me? No, like, no, wait. I'm getting the pass already. Don't worry.
God damn it. But we are getting ready for our second semifinals. As you said, of course, Mio Micah, the best Zerg player, the best cat in StarCraft, is waiting in the finals. He's beautiful. And yeah, I mean, we didn't get to mention it. Or sorry, I don't know if you did, but yo, these two players were already tied up 1-1.
We already tied up 1-1. This is our ace match coming down. And oh boy, I mean, these two players, they have a lot of history against one another, especially throughout 2020. They've been really going back and forth in GPO.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love the little rivalry that they've had, and it's kind of this back and forth where, obviously, at the beginning of the year, it was heavily in GogojOey's favor, but the further the year went on, like, it was more and more often that, you know, this player here would be able to take maps and even take series.
Yeah, what play would that be? I have no clue, but I know that it is the player coming down in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of Submarine LE, the LE Submarine, which we all reside in. Over here, we have the Purple Protoss player, the king of alliteration himself. He is representing M for Melbourne, as well as M for Mindfreak. He is not playing Terran, the Purple Protoss player, Pezz Perry.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Submarine LE, we have the Blue Zerg player, hailing from the land of Hong Kong. It is GogojOey. So, Yaku, I I feel unusually naked right now.
Well, put some pants on.
It's too hot for that. But like unusually so, because normally when I'm casting here on the Cranky Ducklings, I'm also observing at the same time. And
you have no power here, Light.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I do with my hands? I'm like, I just sat here in front of the monitor, and I feel like my hands should be doing something. I should be like, maneuvering the cat. Like, there's just nothing to do.
Well, that's when you let your hands, just do what they will. Let your hands have a mind of their own. If you could see me right now, you would see that they're doing stuff.
Oh yeah, just like these lings, as we did see an earlier pull here from GogojOey. Like, this isn't like a massive all-in or anything. He's just trying to find some damage with this. But Pezz, you already pulled a couple of boys.
He did pull a couple of boys, but one of them unfortunately will be starting to go down. A couple of these zealots getting a little bit bruised, but this is going to be enough for Pezz to chase GogojOey away. The thing is, though, that was quite a lot of boys that weren't mining, like.
Oh yeah, them were plenty of boys, but you know what? What's important is that those lings, that was the only damage they found, right? It was only lost mining time and only killing one probe. Things could have been a lot worse there.
Absolutely could have. This could have been a very anticlimactic ace match after having to wait that long for GogojOey versus Pezz to. But apparently something happened in game number 2 that took it to the late game, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to note that, that break after the lower semifinals was pretty long, and that's because there was an incredibly long game number 2 between these two players, an incredibly long macro game. Unfortunately, we're not too sure what happened there, what transpired, but we are here in the ace match, and Pezz was able to defend, and now he's across the map with these adepts.
He is across the map with the adepts as well as with the zealots. Really just trying to utilize what he built earlier. Oh, no creep connecting. This queen is in a lot of trouble, but the links come in. And they do save it in the last minute. That queen is so exposed.
Oh, God. One more shot. Don't finish the shade.
He finished the shade. That queen lives.
Oh, my God. Pezz, he was so close to killing that queen. If he canceled the shade, he would have been able to get it. But at the same time, it would have been the end of those adepts. They would have been surrounded, so a tough call to make.
Absolutely was. And now the adepts are still alive, they can go in once again. No, it doesn't want to get surrounded a second time, but yeah, I mean, keeping the adepts alive is definitely has its uses. He has a lot more scouting opportunities now. Just a way to and also another way to just keep GogojOey back.
Yeah, I think another thing to note is that, GogojOey did go for an earlier pull, but he didn't go for an early gas. So link speed did only just start a couple of moments ago. It's still on the way. So until that finishes, GogojOey can't really move out on the map.
But he is well aware of that as he starts to prepare for phase 2 of GogojOey in ZVP.
Yeah, I mean, we've casted a lot, at least what stands out in my mind is GogojOey, at least in ZVT, he has a lot of roach play, and we do see here as well, he is going for those roaches, but you know what, Pezz, he did go for a Stargate, and he's already got a Void Ray on the way. Yeah,
surprisingly rallying, oh, one adept does go down. Surprisingly rallying that Void Ray to, okay, changes it to this Overlord. For a second I thought he was rallying it across the map. But yeah, GogojOey gets a nice little bit of scout here in the main base of Pezz, is well aware of the tech options that his opponent has got. So
yeah,
he gets
that. Yeah, and what's interesting is that, okay, so Pezz, he gets the first Void Ray out, he kills the first Overlord, he's going to deny all this scouting, and he's got a second Void Ray on the way. So he's kind of committing to this, and he's going for a second Stargate!
Paco Mike has reached Triple Stargate play coming up from Pezz right now.
Oh my God, it's happening. This has been becoming more and more probably. You know what happened? Paco Mike, like, he reached the shores of South Korea, and then once it got into the hands of some of these South Korean Protoss players, it spread from there, and now we have triple Stargate play. We're gonna have quite a number of Void Rays out on the map.
Yeah, but not this one Void Ray. It's starting to get pretty low. Oh, actually survives. And yeah, GogojOey coming back in will confirm that's actually a second Void Ray that Pezz has got.
I don't know if you noticed.
Queens for some anti-air.
Yeah, yeah, and GogojOey was a heavily supplied block. He made 7 overlords at a time there in the production, which was insane. They're only just finishing up. The problem is that GogojOey is going for like this big, like heavy, like all-in, ground-based all-in, and this is a little bit vulnerable to all these Void Rays that are going to be coming out.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not too convinced if this will be able to get too much done. The queens are fairly isolated, and they are so incredibly slow. The thing about the queens is you really need the Lings to buffer for them. You really want to make sure that they can get their anti-air in, because they're the only anti-air available right now for GogojOey.
And the problem is that there are 3 shield batteries on the way, but you know what? Only 1 just barely manages to finish, and there we go. We do have the overcharge being used to keep these Void Rays alive. They do manage to dodge a couple of the piles, and again, if these queens fall, the Void Rays can clean everything else up.
Indeed they can, but Void Rays, they take a while to kill these queens. They mostly only do damage to low health units and armored units. Queens, they're neither of those. Really good transfuses, but GogojOey's queens are just about running out of energy here. The shield batteries have been taken out. And yes, the wall down. Will GogojOey go even further?
We'll see. I mean, the wall is down 14. Probes go down as well. There are plenty of Void Rays in the sky, and there's not a lot of energy. I don't think there's any energy for transfuse, so everything will get cleaned up. But how much damage will be dealt before that happens?
That is going to be the question. So many Lings coming in and trying to get whatever they can get done. Oh, that is a painful bile there on those Void Rays. And they're starting to get a little low. Not too many queens left. GogojOey has been remaking them.
He has been remaking them, and what's important is that Pezz, like, he's not that far behind in the worker count. Like, if he doesn't lose too many more from here, like, he's okay. And you know what? After he cleans this up, he's going to be able to counterattack with his Void Rays.
Yeah, he's been drone drilling really, really well. And again, when the counterattack happens, what is the anti-air looking like for GogojOey? He's lost these 2 queens here. He really needs to focus so much on his defense now. He has taken Pezz down to 1 base. GogojOey, he's still posturing around these Lings, which, I mean, not a terrible idea. He knows that they are not going to be useful in the defense, but yeah, now these queens are cut out.
Yeah, the problem is, you know what? 6 spores are in production. That's a lot of spores for anti-air. There are queens being pumped out as well, and there was potential here for Pezz, but like the anti-air, there's just so much, and GogojOey is counterattacking with all his Lings.
That he is. I don't know, I feel like if Pezz maybe targets down, you know, individual spores or queens, he should be able to get it, but yeah, he's being very cautious right now, which can't really blame him for. Oh, Void Ray's starting to get low. He does not want to lose a single one of these. Every time he loses a Void Ray, that's just another handful of victory being taken away.
Yeah, definitely. And Pezz, he did leave a couple of Void Rays at home to defend, so the Lings weren't actually able to do anything. They weren't able to bust into the main base, and Pezz, you know, now he's been able to reinforce, you know, meet up every single one of his Void Rays together, and we'll see if he can try and snowball again, though. 4 more spores on the way. Like, oh my god, there's gonna be so much stack defense.
That's making so many goddamn pylons. He really needs to supply up. Pezz is pretty much 1 basing it at this point forward. This is a lot of Void Rays. The queens don't have any transfused energy, but look at all of the hull damage taken from so many of these Void Rays. Once the shields are out, there is just nothing much they can do. There we have it. GG, GogojOey in an insane ace match. Gonna be facing Demi in the semis. Oh boy.
GG. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. GogojOey 3-2. 2-1 with that score is able to take down Pezz, and mate, he moves. I was about to say goes on to the semis. I mean, goes on to the finals, but he goes on to the semis.
He does, to face, and we're starting to get that familiar narrative that we're used to here, like those 3 Zerg players.
Yeah, it's all about Miyamika, GogojOey, and Demi. Like, that's kind of what we're used to here when it comes to Grand Platypus Open. They're typically our top 3. Every now and then we have a player like Seether or a player like Pezz who's able to break that mold. But again, the majority of the time it is these 3 Southeast Asian Zerg players. And we'll see which one of these 2 is going to move on to face Miyamika.
Yeah, that we shall see. Both players definitely want to make it to that match, but I feel like Demi especially. He's got something on the line here.